We're just going to start off with a nice steady beginning, sat down, feet in front of us, and like we've done numerous times before, let's just get everything moving. So we're just going to go windscreen wipers with the feet from side to side, just send them from side to side, keeping those knees together. Okay, good. Keep going side to side. And then we're going to go forwards and back, so toes coming back towards us and away. And away. Okay, good. Then we're going to mix them together and we're going to do 10 clockwise rotations. Heels down on the floor, just rotating those feet. So 10 and then 10 in the other direction. Alright, good. Okay, and then we're going to go for 10 total. Just going to pull the knee into the chest, alternate knee into the chest. Just work through that. If you want to get a bit more purchase, then get the hand down at the ankle as well and pull that in closer towards your bum. Okay, lovely. Once that's done, we're going to have our hands square behind us on the floor, heels up close, and we're just going to rock those knees from side to side. Start off with a small movement and then slowly just increase it. We don't really need to get these knees down to the floor. Let's just get it moving from side to side here. Okay, and then we're going to do a variant of that movement where we're going to lay down onto our backs and we're just going to rock those knees side to side a bit more. This time let's try and get them a bit further down towards the floor. Keep those shoulders square against the ground. Okay, good. Okay, from there we're going to stay down laying on the floor. We're going to grasp those knees and we're just going to have a rock on our backs here. Okay. And then feet back down to the floor and we're going to go for 8 hip thrusts. Nice and steady. Alright. When those 8 are done, we're going to come back up to seated. We're going to cross legs. And then from here, we're just going to have both hands down in front of us. We're just going to alternate between one hand pointing towards the ceiling and the other. Okay, let's try and get that arm as vertical as possible. Okay, 4 more. Okay, then we're going to go for another 5. This time it's going to be both hands at the same time. It's going to be a bit more tricky. It's going to ask a lot more of the upper back mobility to be able to do that. I think I said 5 or 4. Let's do 5. Okay, good. And then from there we're going to come over onto hands and knees. Big mistake not having a mat down on the floor today. And you're going to sit hips through towards the floor and back. And depending on how stiff you're feeling this morning, let's just build on getting those hips deeper through towards the floor. Okay, 3 more of these. 1, 2, 3. Okay, staying on hands and knees then, we're going to go for our twists. So we're going to go for 8 on each side. We're going to go hand pointing and face looking towards the ceiling and then get that hand underneath and up, okay? So 8 on each side. Let's open up that upper back. Once you've done your 8, change sides. Okay, and once they're done, we're going to go into our cat-cows. So looking down towards the knees and driving that spine up towards the ceiling, and then exhaling, looking forwards, driving that belly button down towards the floor. Okay, good. Okay, good. And final one, we're going to go for 10 bird dogs in total, and we're going to do them alternating. So bird dog, because we haven't done this one for a very long time. Right arm, left leg, come out to horizontal. Left arm, right leg, come out to horizontal, okay? Let's just work through those. You'll feel this getting nice and mobile in the glutes, in the lower back and in the shoulder. Nice and steady. Alright, good. Once the 10 are done, grab a drink and I'll run you through what we're going to do next. Okay, let me just set my timer. So what we've got next is, I've called this Grease the Groove. So we're just going to work through all different planes of movement. So we've got a squat, a deadlift pattern, a lunging pattern, a pressing pattern, a lower back and a glute movement. And we're going to work through them 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off, nice and steady, just greasing the groove, getting ourselves mobile through that movement and just thinking about the movement, so that then when we're training in the week, we can, we can spend the time now in slow time thinking about movements and getting the technique right before we just go and train and probably forget in the week, okay? So the first movement is going to be a heels elevated squat, or ballerina squat. So we're going to be up on the balls of our feet, and we're just going to be doing a nice steady squat with the heels off the floor, okay? So we're going to start those, 40 seconds of those, just nice and steady, starting in 3, 2, 1, okay, let's go. So obviously this isn't the way that we would normally squat, especially if we were loading the squat, because we'd want our heels down on the floor for a nice steady platform to squat from. But we're asking a bit more of the quads. We should be able to get a bit deeper into the squat because the heels are elevated as well. And as always, with everyone who likes running, we're just strengthening those little muscles in the feet, in the ankle, in the toes, for a bit of injury prevention. Okay, we've got 10 seconds left here. 5, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm resting. Next one's going to be a single leg deadlift. We're going to do 40 seconds on one leg. So it's going to look like this. So it's the left leg, for example, first. Deadlifting over hip hinge, feeling it in the hamstrings, and back down, okay? So ready to go then, 3, 2, 1. So back straight, sending that rear foot back, so we're over into sort of like a T position from the side, and back up again. And just steadily working through. I'll just turn myself away from the clock, so I have to just count to 40. Okay, good. The next movement's going to be the same movement, but on the other leg, okay? Okay, just about 15 seconds left. Again, single leg, working on the strength of that foot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and resting. We're going to go on to the other foot now. So we got 10 seconds. Get ready. 5, 2, 1. Okay, other side. So we're hip hinging over. So the hip hinge, the hip. We hinge at the hip, funnily enough. Okay. Like a deadlift, single leg deadlift, Romanian deadlift, kettlebell swing. They're all hip hinge movements. Okay, the next one we've got is going to be 4-way lunge. I'll explain that in a minute. That's going to be another one where we're going to work for 40 seconds on one leg, then 40 on the other. Okay, 5, 3, 2, 1, and resting. Okay, 4-way lunge is a little bit of a complex, so it's going to be a reverse lunge, a forward lunge, a curtsy lunge, and then a lunge out to the side as well as a lateral lunge, okay? I'll run through with you when we start. So starting in 4 with a reverse lunge. 2, 1, so step back, good, then we step forwards, then we step back into a curtsy, and then we come over into a side lateral lunge. Then we go again, so on the same leg, step back, step forwards, curtsy, lateral, back, forwards, curtsy, and lateral. Okay, we've got 5 seconds left. 2, 1, and rest. Okay, good. Great for the knee joint. Lots of different movements for it. Okay, so we've got 10 seconds left, and we're going to do the same on the other leg. Okay, ready to go then. 5, 3, 2, 1. So we're stepping back, we're stepping forwards, we're curtsy, then we're lateral. Good, and just working through that. Back, forwards, curtsy. I know I said it'd be a chilled session today because it's hot, but we'll get to that point. I thought about doing this in the garage because it would be colder, but the internet's not good enough out there. Okay, 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and resting. Okay, excellent. Next one is going to be press up to pike and dive bomber press up. So we're going to do 1 press up to pike. So if we're doing knee press ups, down to the floor, up into the pike. From the pike, we're going to dive bomb down to the cobra, back to hands and knees, and start again. Okay, so I'll do that with you. So we're going to do 1 press up down to the floor, up into a pike. From there, we're going to lead with our head, dive bomber press up down, hips are on the floor, up into a cobra here, and then back to hands and knees. Have a little break, then we're going to go again. So press up down to the floor, up into your pike, and then dive bomber, leading with the head, chest, hips, up into a cobra like that, back to hands and knees. Okay, we've got 1 more of those to do. Press up, pike, and resting. Okay, that's a harder one. Next one we've got, we're going to do our dive bombers on the floor. So I think they're also known as Superman, dive bomber, skydivers, all those sort of things. So we're just going to be down on the floor, and we're just going to pulse up and down. Okay, so we're starting that in 2, 1, let's go. So hands and feet on the floor, pulse up and back down again. So we're just working on those muscles on the back of the body. Nice and gentle. Okay, 10 seconds left. 5, 3, 2, 1. Okay, you can flip over onto your back. We've got 40-second glute bridge to do next, and that'll be this little section done and dusted. Okay, so the glute bridge position, for anyone who's forgotten, is we're up here with those hips high, and we're just going to hold there for 40. So getting ready, we're starting in 3, 2, 1. Okay, nice. So just relax there. Keep those hips fairly high. It should be a pretty much straight line through the knee, hip, shoulder. Alright, how long have we got left? 20 seconds. Pretty warm. Okay, 10 seconds left, then we can grab a drink. We'll run on to our 90-90s. Continue the theme. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and drop those hips down to the floor. Okay. Grab a drink, stay hydrated today. Right. We're going to move on to our 90-90s now. So just to run you through them. We're in this position here starting. So we're going to send both knees over to one side. We're going to dip over that front knee, head down towards the floor, then change over the next one, okay? We've got 20 of these to do, then we're going to go into a 2-minute stretch on each side. I know we only did 1 minute last week, so we're going to go back to 2 this week. So let's start those 90-90s. Again, we should be noticing now, probably been doing this for about 10 weeks, so we should be noticing that those hips, those glutes are feeling a bit better. Or do you know what, even if they're not feeling better, they're not getting worse. And that's important as well. Okay, we're almost there at 20, I think. Okay. And then what we're going to do then is we're going to go into either side, doesn't matter which one. We're going to sit over into that 90-90 position. You're going to take your upper body over this front knee, and we're going to sit there for 2 minutes, okay? We ready to go? Alright, 3, 2, 1, let's go. So to begin with, let's just spend the first 30 seconds getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. And then we'll try and sit a bit deeper into it and make the most of it, okay? So if you can get elbows down to the floor, if you're very flexible, you can get your head down to the floor, that'd be awesome, your forehead. Okay, so we're coming up to for the first 30 seconds, so let's reevaluate and try and see if we can sit a bit deeper, a bit more of a stretch. So that's a minute gone. Let's see if we can sit a bit deeper into that stretch. Okay, we've got the last 30 seconds now. Let's sit a bit deeper again. Ten seconds left. 3, 2, 1, and gently back up to the top. We're just going to take 30 seconds to just grab a drink and just move yourself around. And then we're going to go for another 2 minutes on the other side, okay? Okay, so let's start getting into position for the other side. We're going to start in about 10 seconds. Okay, get ready. 5, 3, 2, 1. Okay, same as the other side. Sit over that front knee. Let's bed in for 30 seconds. And we'll start pushing the stretch then. Okay, that's 30 seconds gone, so let's try and sit a bit deeper into it. Okay, that's a minute gone. Fifteen seconds left. Remember to come up nice and gently. Okay, 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, gently back up. From there, we're going to go back into 10 90-90s. It should be feeling really nice and loose now. So we should be able to dip a bit further over. Maybe begin to use a little bit of momentum from the upper body coming down, just to push you into a slightly deeper position. Okay, once those 10 are done, grab a drink and then come up to standing. Okay, great. So we're going to do some quad stretching now. We've got two options. We're going to go. You can either do a standing quad stretch here that we all know, or we can come in to the kneeling one. So if you've got a sofa or something there, you put a cushion on the floor and you can get your foot up onto the sofa and the knee down onto the cushion. Okay, it's up to you which one you fancy doing. We're going to do 30 seconds on each leg. Then we're going to move to 45 on each leg. Let's give these quads a good stretch. Okay, so let's get ready. We're going to start that in 3, 2, 1. Okay. If you're standing, then bring those knees together, pull the foot up gently behind you, push those hips forward. And if you're kneeling, then have your chest up nice and high, and again, drive those hips forward. You get a good stretch out of it. Okay, 10 seconds left here, then we're going to fairly swiftly switch legs. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Take that stretch off. We're just going to change sides. And we're going to start again. 2, 1. Okay, let's go. Okay, we've got 10 seconds left. 5, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Just shake those legs out. We're going to go back down for 45 on each leg. So get yourselves ready. We're going to start that one then in 5, 3, 2, 1. Okay, back to the first leg. Push that stretch. Uncomfortable but not painful. Let's make the most of being here with this time to stretch this morning. Right, 15 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we'll take 15 seconds just to switch over, get ourselves ready. We've got 8 seconds left till we start. 5, 3, 2, 1. Okay, here we are, back in again on the other leg. Okay, 10 seconds left. Hang in there on that stretch. This is the last one for the quads now. 5, 3, 2, 1. Okay, gently back. We're going to come down to seated with our legs out in front of us at about 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. We're going to do a little bit of hamstrings. So the way we're going to do that is we're just going to put our hands down towards the floor. We're just going to walk our fingers forwards until we get to about as far as we can comfortably go or uncomfortably go. We're going to hold that stretch. Try and relax those knees. Okay, we're going to creep them slightly further away from us. Keep holding. Alright, and then we're going to go slightly further away from us one more time. That's the last time. We're going to hold there for 10. 5, 2, 1. Okay, bring those hands back in. We're going to bring one foot into the other leg. We're going to send ourselves forward and hold on to either the toe or the shin or the ankle, wherever you can get to. I'm just going to hold a nice stretch there for 30 seconds, okay? So ready to start then. We're starting in 3, 2, 1. Here we are. So try and relax that knee. Okay, remember when we take the stretch off, just gently release. So stopping in 2, 1, gently release the stretch. Switch legs, we're going to go 30 seconds on the other side. Okay, so get ready to go. We're going to start in 5, 3, 2, 1. Okay, there we are, stretches on. Relax that knee. Five, 3, 2, 1. Okay. We're going to come over onto hands and knees. Give our backs a little stretch. So we're going to go for a cat stretch. So like what a cat does, you know. So we're going to put our hands out in front of us here onto the floor, and we're going to sit back onto our onto our thighs, and we're just going to push our hands down into the floor, stretching down. If you really want to drive that stretch through the back, then put your chin pointing down towards the floor, look up towards forward of you. and really push those hands down into the floor. Okay, so in a minute we're just going to transition forward, so we're going to come up into a cobra. So we're just going to keep our hands where they are, keep our knees where they are, and we're just going to send ourselves forward here. Sit those hips through, hold them down towards the floor wherever you can get them to. Gonna stay there. And then when we've done this stretch, we're then going to push up into a pike or a downward dog. So like looking like a triangle from the side with your bum up in the air. And we're going to hold that one, okay? So we're going to start transitioning up into that one now. Okay, good. In 5 seconds, we're going to drop down to hands and knees. 3, 2, 1. Okay, drop down to hands and knees. From there, we're going to bring our left foot up to the outside of our left hand. And then we're going to raise that rear knee ever so slightly off the floor and just have a wiggle around there for the hips. All different directions. Any points that feel particularly tight, just move into them. Okay. We're going to drop that knee down to the floor. The hand that's on the same side as the forward leg is then going to rotate up, point towards the ceiling and down for 5 reps. Information overload. Once you've done your 5 reps, return that foot to the back, come back to hands and knees. We'll reset and then we'll do the same on the other side. Alright, so other foot, so in this case for me it's right foot up to the outside of right hand. Let's raise that rear knee ever so slightly off the floor. Move around, draw some circles. Alright, good. Then we're going to drop that knee to the floor. We're going to do our 5 rotations with the hand that's on the same side as the forward foot. Okay, good. Once that's done, come down to cross-legged. And then we're just going to come back into how we did at the beginning. We're just going to go for 10 in total, coming up to pointing those arms straight up. Hopefully should feel slightly easier now that we're warm and a bit more mobile. And then once we've done those 10, we're going to do 5 with both hands at the same time. Okay. Okay. There we go.